Was this just a harmless challenge, or a moment that revealed a hidden bond no one was prepared to see? Why did a simple, Sweet Dreams challenge between Jungkook and BTS bodyguard Mr. Lee suddenly ignite overwhelming emotions across the fandom? Was this really supposed to happen, or was it a moment that slipped through the cracks of control? That is the question echoing across fan communities right now, and if you felt your heart race when you first saw it, you are not alone. Before you read any further, stop for a second. What did you feel when Jungkook smiled, turned to Mr. Lee and accepted the Sweet Dreams challenge? Surprise, warmth, shock, or something deeper that you didn't expect to feel? If this moment shook you even a little, leave a comment right now, hit like and subscribe, because what you are about to read is not just another celebrity story. This is about trust, humanity, and a side of BTS that fans rarely get to witness. The moment itself did not arrive with fireworks or a grand announcement. There was no dramatic build-up, no warning, no carefully scripted introduction. And yet that is exactly why it struck so deeply. In an industry where every movement is calculated, every smile rehearsed, and every interaction filtered through layers of management, what happened between Jungkook and Mr. Lee felt dangerously real. Too real, almost like something we were never meant to see. Jungkook, the global icon known for commanding stadiums and breaking records, stood there not as a superstar, but as a young man sharing a fleeting, playful challenge with someone who has stood silently by his side for years. Mr. Lee, often seen only in the background, serious and alert, suddenly stepped into the frame not as a bodyguard but as a human being. And that shift, subtle yet powerful, is what sent shockwaves through the fandom. Why did this moment matter so much? Why did a simple Sweet Dreams challenge feel heavier than award speeches or viral performances? The answer lies in what it represented. For years, fans have seen Mr. Lee as a symbol of protection. He is the quiet presence who ensures safety, the figure who moves crowds aside, the man whose eyes are always scanning for danger. He is rarely acknowledged, rarely celebrated, and almost never invited into the spotlight. Yet in that brief moment with Jungkook, the invisible line between protector and protected blurred. And when that line disappeared, something unexpected surfaced: mutual respect, comfort, and a kind of warmth that cannot be staged. Jungkook's expression said everything without saying a word. There was no arrogance, no distance, no hierarchy, just familiarity, trust, and maybe even gratitude. Fans noticed it instantly. The way Jungkook waited, the way he laughed softly, the way he didn't rush or dominate the moment. These details became clues, small hints that suggested a deeper story behind the scenes. Was this a spontaneous act of fun, or was it the natural result of years spent together under pressure, danger, exhaustion, and constant scrutiny? Mr. Lee's reaction only intensified the emotions. Known for his composed and disciplined demeanor, he stepped into the challenge with a mix of hesitation and sincerity. There was no attempt to steal attention, no exaggeration, just participation, and that alone was enough to shake long-held perceptions. Suddenly, fans weren't just seeing the bodyguard. They were seeing someone who had shared countless unseen moments with BTS: airports at dawn, chaotic crowds, tense situations, and silent victories. This is where the story stops being cute and starts becoming emotional. Because what fans truly reacted to was not the challenge itself, but what it revealed. It hinted at a world behind the cameras where relationships are built not on fame but on survival, where laughter becomes a coping mechanism, where trust is not optional, it is essential. Some fans admitted they cried, others said they felt strangely comforted. Many confessed they replayed the clip over and over, searching for hidden meaning in every glance and gesture. Why? Because in an era of curated perfection, this moment felt honest, raw, human. And honesty is rare. There is also a deeper question that cannot be ignored. Why did this moment resonate more than polished content? Why did a simple interaction between Jungkook and Mr. Lee feel more powerful than many staged variety appearances? Perhaps because it reminded everyone that BTS, despite their global status, are still human. They still rely on others, they still build bonds outside the spotlight, and those bonds matter. The Sweet Dreams challenge became a symbol not of trends but of connection. It showed that joy can exist even in roles defined by responsibility. It showed that respect can flow both ways regardless of status. And most importantly, it showed that behind every idol stands a network of people whose dedication often goes unnoticed. Fans began to ask questions. How many moments like this have we missed? How many silent supporters stand behind BTS every day? And why does it take a viral challenge for us to finally see them? This is not a fairy tale, there is no exaggerated fantasy here. This is reality breaking through the surface for just a second, and that is why it mattered. As the clip continued to circulate, discussions grew more intense. Some fans praised Jungkook for his humility. Others expressed newfound respect for Mr. Lee. Many simply said, "This made my day," without fully understanding why, but the reason is clear because it felt genuine. In a world that often feels distant and artificial, authenticity hits harder than perfection. So ask yourself this: if such a small moment can create such a big emotional impact, what does that say about what we truly crave as audiences? Is it spectacle or sincerity? The Sweet Dreams challenge may fade from trending lists, but the feeling it created will linger, because it wasn't about views, it wasn't about promotion. It was about a shared human moment that slipped through the cracks and once seen could never be unseen. Now it's your turn. Did this moment surprise you? Did it change how you see Jungkook or the people who protect BTS every day? Write your thoughts in the comments, like this article if it moved you, and subscribe so you don't miss the stories that go beyond the surface. Because sometimes the quietest moments speak the loudest. The conversation did not stop there, and neither did the emotions. As the Sweet Dreams challenge moment continued to echo across timelines, fan forums, and private group chats, something interesting began to happen. People were no longer just sharing the clip. They were sharing stories, interpretations, and feelings that had been buried for a long time. This was no longer about a trend. It had evolved into a mirror reflecting how deeply people connect to authenticity, especially when it comes from figures they admire. Many fans started revisiting old footage, searching for moments where Mr. Lee appeared quietly in the background. Airport walks, rehearsal arrivals, overseas schedules, tense crowd situations. Suddenly those clips carried a new weight. Fans noticed how Mr. Lee positioned himself instinctively between Jungkook and potential danger, how his reactions were calm yet alert, how his presence had always been constant but unacknowledged. The Sweet Dreams challenge unlocked a realization that had been there all along, waiting to be seen. And then there was Jungkook's role in all of this. Jungkook has always been known for his emotional intelligence, even when he doesn't speak much. He expresses himself through actions, glances, timing, and subtle gestures. In that brief interaction, fans noticed something unmistakable. He did not treat Mr. Lee as staff. There was no awkwardness, no superiority, no performative kindness. Instead, there was ease, familiarity, comfort. That kind of comfort doesn't appear overnight. It is built through shared experiences, long hours, pressure, and trust that grows silently. This led fans to ask another question, one that carried even more emotional weight. How many people have helped BTS stand where they are today without ever stepping into the light? Mr. Lee became a symbol of all those unseen contributors, the security teams, managers, coordinators, and staff who protect, guide, and support from behind the scenes. The Sweet Dreams challenge unintentionally humanized an entire system. What made this even more powerful was the timing. In an era where celebrity interactions are often filtered, scripted, and monetized, this moment felt untouched by strategy. There was no sense of "this will go viral." If anything, it felt like a private joke that accidentally became public, and that accident is exactly what made it special. Some fans admitted they felt conflicted. On one hand, they were grateful to witness such a genuine interaction. On the other, they wondered if this moment should have remained private. That tension between access and respect is something modern fandoms constantly struggle with. Yet even within that conflict, one thing was clear: the reaction was rooted in care, not intrusion. Emotionally, this moment also shifted how people perceive strength. Mr. Lee represents physical protection, discipline, and readiness. Jungkook represents creative power, vulnerability, and emotional expression. Seeing those two worlds intersect, even briefly, reminded fans that strength is not one-dimensional. It can be silent, it can be playful, it can exist without dominance. This realization resonated deeply, especially among fans who look up to Jungkook not just as an artist but as a person. The challenge showed that respect does not weaken authority, it strengthens it. That kindness does not reduce professionalism, it enhances it. As discussions continued, some fans pointed out how rare it is for idols to publicly interact with their bodyguards in such a relaxed way. Not because they don't care, but because the industry often draws rigid boundaries. Breaking those boundaries even subtly can feel risky. And yet, Jungkook did it effortlessly, without making a statement, without turning it into a message, just by being himself. That authenticity became the loudest message of all. The emotional ripple effect extended beyond the fandom. Casual viewers who stumbled upon the clip expressed surprise. Some said they had never thought about the lives of bodyguards before. Others said the moment made them reflect on the people in their own lives who support them quietly without recognition. In that sense, the Sweet Dreams Challenge became universal. It was no longer about BTS alone, it was about human connection. And here is the biggest surprise of all, there was no controversy. In a digital landscape where even the smallest gesture can be twisted, this moment remained untouched by negativity. Why? Because it was too sincere to attack, too gentle to misinterpret, too real to deny. That alone says something powerful about the energy it carried. As time passes, this moment may be remembered not as a viral challenge but as a reminder. A reminder that behind every global star stands a network of real people. That respect is visible, even when unspoken. And that sometimes the most meaningful stories are born not from grand events but from small, unexpected interactions. So let this question linger. If a few seconds of genuine connection can move millions, what does that tell us about what truly matters? Share your thoughts. Did this continuation change how you see the moment? Comment below, like if you felt the emotion too, and subscribe to stay connected to stories that go beyond headlines, stories that remind us why humanity still matters in the spotlight.